over because you've dehydrated so much.
Yep. Yeah, it does. It dries the air out, and eventually, if you spend too long in it, it'll dry you out too. Yeah.
It weren't too bad when you were awake because obviously you'd constantly be drinking tea and coffee.
It took them the longest time to figure this out. And that's why I hate calling it air conditioning when it's not. Because 99% of the time, it's not proper air conditioning.
Is that here out there at Terry, by the way? Yeah, looks like it. Good.
Let's settle this up again. The only place I've seen air conditioning done properly was the new British Museum in London, where they stored everything in huge underground chambers, all of the old books and documents and everything. That was a completely controlled environment.
And the air conditioning was under control as well.
The air conditioning had, oh yeah, the moisture content was controlled down to the nearest 0.5%. Because if you got that wrong, then these books will start to disintegrate. It was real climate control. There was some proper kit they had down there. So we went down there for a college trip when they were building it. That was back in the 90s, and yeah, they've got these huge underground plant rooms and huge underground storage facilities for books and documents that are hundreds and hundreds of years old. They watch these programs and they bring this book out and they've got the linen gloves on. It's the sort of thing you don't touch with your bare hands.
It'd be okay if I didn't mute myself. Okay, now they can hear me.
Terry, we couldn't hear you, Terry. Hello, Terry.
Hey, Turtle's lost his head.
Oh no!
Hello, caller. You're through.
How did Turtle lose its head?
Become disembodied.
Yeah.
He had an argument with a Highlander.
I must have.
How do you get
a more powerful turtle? A more powerful turtle that's come around.
Stand up. There we go. Oh, there it goes. There we go.
The camera fell out of position and all I could see was the top of my head, so that's all it showed, and left the other one in the last place it was.
Judy's back, John's back, Nerd Alert's back. There's a few people back.
There we are.
Clive.
Yeah, we'll get him.
For fuck's sake.
Anything else I can fiddle with while we're waiting for anyone else to turn up? Got that sorted, so I'm just using those two channels over in OBS for now. That'll do.
Yes.
How do we play video again? I'll go to that one. Then I can pick.
Have a go putting the video on.
Today's video.
Yeah, let's go. Well, I've got Lindsay going. That's for test. Unless you want me to pick something else.
Yeah. No, anything.
Well, I've got Lindsay. That's all I've got. You don't
Let's
want to waste testing on something else, do we?
No.
Is going to one day probably make me a famous man.
Okay, he's coming through down
I've
there.
made many first discoveries over the last few years.
Okay, things come through up there.
But you'll never find them in any science
turn that one
book.
off?
Don't see him out in the. Okay.
Blatantly obvious.
There we are.
But no other man on this earth has ever brought it up before. All the astrophotographers, physicists, scientists, whatever, never mentioned this before, and I'm going to show it to you. Another proof, 100% proof.
I'm coming through that. Or do I come through that one? No, not that one. Do I come through that one? No.
I know this goes against everything that I hold dear, but I really hope we get to watch that Lindsay video because I want to find out what this 100% proof of Because I've
Nobody
now
else has
heard him
found
twice saying,
before.
"I've got 100% proof of what? What's he on about?"
And then we stop it.
And then you start. He's like, "What?
Hell, I don't know which one's
Bloody
to use.
tease."
Do I use those two, or do I use...
What are you doing?
Dear.
Oh, you're coming through the same as me, that one. That might be the one we had before. Oh, yeah, but I'm not coming through that one. Coming through that one.
Okay.
This is all getting very comfortably numb, isn't it?
You.
Yeah, it is. It's
Can you hear?
Your lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying.
it's either the choice of leaving it the way it is for now and then have a fiddle with it another time, or try to figure out how it works for now, so at least we can use it.
Timbo, your spelling's abysmal. It took you 3 goes to get to
my typing's abysmal. What was spelling?
T. Oh, hang
Lindsay
on.
back
Sorry.
on now.
Now we're going to get into why. Now, I've done previous videos. And
Did you just pause over, mute over the bit where we find out?
No, I'm
100% proof?
rewinding it, but I'll put it on Lindsay's speed anyway.
Welcome everybody, welcome to my site.
Yeah, wait a minute, Lindsay, I'm not ready
Proving
for
how
you
the
yet.
earth is flat.
Yeah, just hang on a sec, Lindsay.
Am I going to have to change headphones and go watch the video me bloody self?
Go on.
Has he got some? Has he got?
This is going to be like this for the next few streams till we get back to the way they were, or close to it, I hope.
Star trail photography and time lapse. Central.
So now he's going to.
Central vortex of creation.
I can't read the red stuff; it's too small.
And then he's got north to south, western, 180 degrees. So north to south meridian. I don't know. It's got a W. Sure, that's a W. North to south meridian. Oh, this is on the half. Yeah, on the half circle there. North to south, west. So meridian would make sense. No, that's something else. 180 degrees. Mars.
I hear Max Headroom. Who's
Noah's? Is it Noah's? Meridian is something of the horizon, 185 degrees.
Could I just make a complaint about Excel that it doesn't autocorrect as you type?
Yes, but it does. It does auto change stuff. Like it really doesn't like you inserting certain time values in there because it'll convert them to something, to a different format, because it's fucking broken and has been for 20 years.
But it's just it. You know, when you're in a Word document and you type something and it'll either just correct it for you or it'll underline it as if to say, are you sure about that? No, in Excel, whatever you've typed, you then have to go to review and spelling.
Somebody said I'm echoing and quiet. I wonder if that's because I'm running through 2 channels. Okay, I'll turn that one off. See if that fixed it.
Sound good here. Hang on a second.
Yeah, I just turned off the other one.
Yeah. Right, autocorrect, whatever.
Yeah, I'm on Mike Ox 2 and Mike Ox 3 in OBS. So those ones will have to be sorted out.
Yeah. Remember in Banana, don't send your microphone to both output channels.
No, I haven't touched me Banana. Me Banana's the same as it was.
Yeah. No, it's not autocorrect or auto change because they're slightly different.
Yeah. I'm not going to touch me Banana, otherwise we'll ruin it.
Used to use auto change for so you could shortcut long words.
I can't even get me Banana out.
Don't tell us about your problems with bananas.
Oh, wait a minute. Now I can get it out. I can't see all me Banana though, but it's there. No, I haven't touched Banana. Everything looks. I don't know why it's not showing up in voice meter VA and voice meter aux, it's not showing up in there, my voice, in that part. Even though it's coming up in the first in the my channel, where it says microphone. You guys you guys come up in voice meter VA IO when you talk. But I don't talk, I don't see me coming up there. I don't know if that's how it was or not. I can't remember.
The microphone will only be going out to B1 or B2, but it won't be going out to both of them, will it?
Right. Okay.
Because if you do that, that's when you get an echo.
Yeah. Right. You know your little ones in the virtual input section? I don't see my voice showing in that, only you. So that must be right. So I haven't touched the banana, so I don't. So nobody's saying. Fred said that's good. Okay.
Yep.
What audio change or audio correct? Okay, so if I'm okay out there for the peanuts.
Have farmers you gone off to listen to that by itself?
No, I'm playing it now.
No, I just haven't heard from him for a bit. I just wonder if he'd snuck off to find out what this proof is.
Okay. I'll give this a test run for Lindsay. So this is for testing purposes.
Welcome everybody, welcome to my site. Everything here is about proving how the earth is flat. And today's video is going to one day probably make me a famous man. I've made many first discoveries over the last 3 years, but you'll never find them in any science journal because they go against the narrative of living on a spinning ball. It all makes sense what I claim. You can't debunk it. It's 100% correct. But this video,
no, you won't allow us to debunk it. That's the whole point.
So blatantly obvious. But no other man on this earth has ever brought it up before. All the astrophotographers, physicists, scientists, whatever, never mentioned this before, and I'm going to show it to you. Another proof, 100% proof, you do not live on a spinning ball and the earth is flat, the way my design describes it. So, we all know about star trail photography and time-lapse.
Yeah.
Well, you go online, there's plenty of them.
Plenty
of YouTube videos on time-lapse, how to go about it, by all these astrophotographers. So they give you nice pretty pictures. There's a star trail, this is what they look like.
What have I missed?
They can
well, he's trying to draw a star trail on his whiteboard.
So they can show you the slow motion movement of the stars.
Oh, okay.
Or on this time
you haven't missed
star
anything
trail
yet.
system.
Right. He's
So
done the big reveal.
Open the shutter for a while and then close it.
No.
So he's drawn a complete circle of a star trail that is saying this is what you see if you did a star trail.
This is the big reveal.
Okay.
He's gone through his spiel about how wonderful he is, and he's the only one in the world that knows about this, and how he's.
But notice how he's drawn a complete circle for a star trail.
Yeah.
Well, no, it does look like he's drawing short strips, that are not 360 degrees or even 180.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with that yet.
Okay.
See what he says about
not yet.
Hasn't said anything.
He's just drawn a circle around the outside of it to kind of guide him where he's going to draw. I ain't going to bang him for that one.
Okay.
No.
Get this pattern. So in all the star trail photography videos, you notice the stars only do a percentage of a rotation.
Yeah.
Although
why is that, Lindsay?
360-degree overall
yeah, why is that, Lindsay?
Motion around Polaris or Sigma Octantis, all these stars in there only do a partial rotation.
Yeah. That's not. Yeah. Why?
Now we're going to get into why.
Yeah. Why?
Now I've done previous videos and asked a lot of spinning ballers, globe scientists, that explain this phenomenon of having two motions, two 50-degree motions. In the southern hemisphere, we
Don't confuse me,
this
John.
fixed star trail film right at the end of the night after 3 or 4 hours. But if you use a star track,
You don't have to.
one of these.
What he said? What? Do a star trial for 24 hours? Did he say what he said?
Well,
You don't
there are
have to. You can do it
places
15
can.
minutes.
Yeah, but not for
There are
24
places-
hours.
Can do a 24-hour one and get a full 360,
Yeah.
but you do have to be in, like, the Arctic in winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Where's he's not saying where.
These stars, it starts wandering off this way, wanders west. So, what is happening here is these stars are only doing. No, let's go back a bit. You have to understand man's arc of horizon.
Hang on.
180 degree arc of horizon, 380 degrees all around him. He is in the centre here. Okay? He's always in the centre of his arc, his dome, his own personal dome. You've heard a few people talk about it? Well, it's a fact, okay? Earth has one. There's another association between man and Earth. Earth has a meridian. They call them meridians on the Mercator map. They come out of the centre north, right out to here. That is a nice 180 degree arc. The magnetic fields are curved, they're not straight, but you still have from there to there 180 degrees. And then you have another one come up and over on this side. So it's going to look like a bit like the top of an apple, isn't it? Well, we are all within these meridians, but we're not in the centre part. The centre part is the place they call beyond the event horizon. So it's beyond this point, it's up in here, if you put another one there. And this is the vortex, the creation centre of our realm. The central vortex of creation. And that's what it is. So the best way to imagine it is like a vase, a clear glass vase of water turning. Vortex water, but in slow motion.
What?
And we've got stars in that water. They can be whatever you want. They can be grains of sand, whatever's good for your imagination. But this is what's happening. And there's a straw. And that straw is the Milky Way. That connection, the knee point, is our sun. The actual sun, not the sun we see out, projected out into the tropics. It's back in creation. So because of this vortex system here, spiral, there's only about this much of it you actually see. 2.5 maybe rotations, because it's levitation, it's magnetically locked levitation is what's going on in here.
That's a new one, magnetically locked levitation.
So we're seeing the stars come around like this because they're getting lost around the back. So you see them come around the front, then they'll go around the back. There's always other stars coming in as they come around. This is why you're getting the stop-start look in here. Now, back to the man's arc of horizon. You take his little dome, you put it inside here, inside the Earth, looking down the flat edge of the
Terry?
dome.
Yeah.
Just pause for a quick sec. Do you think he thinks that star trail's an actual line, not a series of dots?
Yeah, I'm just wondering what his distinction is
'Cause I'm getting
between
that
the
feeling.
two.
I'm just getting the feeling he
Yeah.
doesn't realise that star trails are not a line, it's actually just a series of dots.
Yeah.
But anyway, keep going.
Yeah.
Have they moved Lindsay to a different ward or something?
Yeah. I think
Got a
he's
window
moved
in it.
his room.
He's moved his room about because putting the camera onto the back with a bright window in the background is the really sensible thing to do when you're doing a stream, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Well, it's a good job the board is blocking out most of the window.
Well, there's bars on the other wall, so you can't use it.
It's a toroidal field, so it
You're
all
going to.
expands out from this
Okay.
centre, gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Everything that moves south gets bigger and bigger and bigger. That includes us, because we are creatures of the light. Everything is of light. Everything expands and it moves south. It's just part of our realm. We have to understand that.
Was it? That's why I'm putting on weight. I wondered
here,
why.
and he's looking south, say. Let's say he's got a camera, and he's pointing south, and he's taking a star trail photography film
I thought we were Stardust.
around Sigma Octantis. So he's facing south, he's got his camera fixed on a tripod, he's got this image. But if you slow it all down and track one of the stars in this image here, it starts drifting this way. It comes out and starts drifting this way. Because what's happening
No,
is
it doesn't.
Where?
every
What?
hand has this
What the?
a nice circular image around Sigma Octantis out the south.
No, it doesn't.
Okay,
Where?
so let's consider one of these arcs of longitude his own arc of horizon. So this slither here, from there to there, is between there and there in his horizon, right? And that's coming back from here, right back in here, right back in here. So that's being reflected out to the south. So he's only getting a portion. He's only getting this portion. You have to bear in mind that these are equal. If you go back to the Mercator map, these are equal if you look at the Mercator map. But there's another way. This is incorporated with the Mercator map. The Gleason map, they go together. Because there's an expansion of the field, but it's all always
He sort of gets into detail and then he sidetracks a bit from something else.
Put the magnetic field aside.
Yeah.
So he's getting in his arc of horizon one portion of this turning vortex over the night. For starters, he's only seeing half. There can only be half at one time because one's night, one's daytime, right? The sun will be over here. But he's only getting this one portion in his star trail rotation. Okay? So this portion here, or this position from here to here, every one of these represents that portion from there to there over his arc of horizon. They come into his arc of horizon from the east, leave by the west.
No, they don't.
That's the distance there. That's what he sees. This is like 100% proof of this arc of horizon.
If you look the other way, what do you see?
This is why you only see so much, because what they're doing is they're fading out because they're moving this way.
Yeah, ours go from the west to the east, not the east to the west.
Yeah. Okay. I can make a star time lapse where the stars do travel across the field of view, because instead of pointing it with Polaris in the center so that I'm looking at the center of rotation, I turn the camera around and point it south.
Yeah.
And because the circle that they are going around is so huge, I will literally just see a section of that, but not if I point it not if I'm pointing it at the flipping axis.
I don't think he's looked into star trails properly myself.
No.
You think?
Or he has, and he's just completely lost it.
Yeah, and of course, what he's describing is not a time lapse; it's a star trail.
Mm.
Yeah.
Which is animation of it's all animation, but it's a proper animation effect. It's not just a film made really slowly, played back really quick.
Everything, this whole circular rotation moves around the southern hemisphere. Okay, they come in and go up, but you're fixed, so you can only stay there looking at your arc of horizon. But if you tracked it, you could track them going like this, wandering that way. But this rotation will stay fixed on your north to south meridian. Although you can track them to see them come this way. So you can use a star tracker and film the stars going like this, while you've got another camera fixed on this one rotation. This does not drift, because that's not drifting, is it? It's not moving that way or that way. But as it's turning, it's moving this image around.
I think he thinks a star tracker.
So everybody's getting a slice of this
different thing.
Vortex from on their meridian. So this guy's picture right at this moment will be different to this guy's picture, because it hasn't turned, that little fragment there hasn't turned around to his fragment, his arc of horizon yet. Although he'll be seeing night, he'll just see a slightly different rotation, slightly different stars. Unless if this precise solar time was brought over to here, then you would see the same thing. No, he won't, because it's in this vortex. It spirals down, comes back up over 24 hours. So he's still not going to see the same image, because what's come around the front there might start to be disappearing next on this guy's horizon, arc of horizon. We're all looking out like this, okay? So we can get this time lapse, we can see the stars drifting this way in a slow motion, revolving, rotating, whatever system. But the big the big one here, the crunch, comes when you do the north. When you're from the north, it does not wander. It's fixed at all times. The circular motion cannot be from moving this way because it's locked in the centre here.
That's
The southern
different.
field is what moves around the north.
It's
It
identical.
stays there, and the southern field moves all the
I
way
mean,
around
not
and come back to the
identical,
same
but-
position it was last night.
It's the opposite direction, but
Yeah.
It's 100% proof you did not live on a globe. How can that happen on a globe? Why would all the stars in the south be drifting around this way when in the north they're just staying there turning? They still get this look because you still got this in and out.
Which way are they
Come
turning
up
at the
front,
north,
go in the back, come
Lizzie?
up the front, go in the back. It only
I'd like
does
to see his proof
one
for
full
this
cycle over the night.
drifting star trails.
Yeah.
Because it
Because if
comes
they're
up,
drifting, you
it
wouldn't
goes
get a
down, it
circle
comes
of
up,
star
it goes
trail.
down, up and back down during the day. So there's always an opposite to everybody's arc of horizon, where his cardioid loop will happen. But if you're in the north, that is, the sun, it'll loop around the sun area during the day, comes back across his horizon during the night. That's in the north, but in the south, it's opposite. It's coming like this, looping around, coming out, around across your horizon, and goes back this way. In the north, it's looping around there, like this. Anybody in the northern hemisphere will see the moon now coming up in the northerly aspect.
Get back to your star trail, Lindy. Don't
but
talk
out
about
south
the
we have
moon.
it in our southerly
Just confuse
aspect.
yourself.
So if you live on a globe, how do they answer that? Why am I seeing this right round to the southeast, the moon coming up to the southeast, or the first stars, yet they see theirs way around to the northeast? Because they're mirrored, it's the way it works. It's the mirrored effect. How do we get this mirrored effect? Well,
What happens to the people in the middle, Lindsay?
sky is curved. It acts like a concave mirror and projects everything back in here. Because the picture out here, it's up top of the north, the vortex is sort of, you're getting all the stars up here. This in a parabolic image is reflected off this concave southern sky. So you see it spinning around Sigma Octantis. When Sigma Octantis is actually Polaris, that's the same image. But you don't see the same, it's very tricky to see the same
It's not the
stars.
same
No.
stars, though.
Because you're only seeing a slither here.
There's
Of
nothing like
portion
it. It's
of
not
this
even
whole
close to a mirror
360
image.
rotation,
Yeah.
depending on where you're standing out around the south. So, the northern field is fixed, and star trail photography will look like that. It'll look like that in the south, but the south is drifting all the way around our Earth, all the way around. But north doesn't. It's stuck here in the middle. It's fixed in the centre. No other person has ever talked about this, ever.
No? You reckon?
Oh, I wonder why.
you
Thinking people live in
think?
the northern hemisphere or they live in the southern. They're not gelling the two together. I mean, some obviously travel, but they're not clicking. They have never thought about it because they're not aware of the flat Earth system. They just go with their
I
indoctrinated
don't think he's actually been
bullshit of the
north of the
globe.
equator myself.
So there it is, folks. I hope you understand that. Man's arc of horizon. So his portion, his arc of horizon, is represented in the length of these stars. And it's roughly about 37 degrees, I think. Could be anywhere from 33 to 37 degrees. So 37 or 33 degrees is his arc of horizon on this Earth, in this earthly system. So if he's there, he's seeing that portion of the whole Earth, 33, 37%. That's the width of his arc of horizon. So it comes in and goes out. Comes into your horizon, goes out of your horizon. Nothing's going around underneath the ball. It's just moving west out of your arc of horizon. This is different between a spinning ball bullshit story and your arc of horizon reality. Okay? Understanding that. Don't scoff at it. Man is connected with the Earth. The Earth has one. North to 180 degrees. This is what celestial navigation is all about. Man is always 90 degrees to the zenith. He is always here. There's his readings. Okay? If he's a sextant.
It would be fun to take
A lot
Lindsay
of
out
young
and
people
go
today don't even know
to
what sextant
find
is.
his own way home, wouldn't it?
And a lot of
Yeah.
old people don't even know what the word redacted means. Redacted. Check out Redacted on YouTube. If you want the truth about Ukraine, everything really, go to Redacted. They're straight up. It's like being with family, listening to those guys.